Hey, I'm Joshua with Sidecar. In this quick tips video, we're going to look at keeping our layers organized in Photoshop. Alright, the first tip I'm going to show in helping to keep your layers panel organized has to do with some of the options that come out of the box with Photoshop in regards to this panel. So let's say you're mocking up a website. I'm going to create a rectangle here. Maybe this is a container for a video. It's going on the page. Let's close this out. So we have rectangle 1. I'm just going to rename that to the container. We'll drop a video in there later perhaps. And now I'm going to copy this over because I want 2 of these in this row. And now you can see that Photoshop automatically adds copy to the end of this layer. It's not a big deal right there, but if you start adding multiple rows, now it gets kind of annoying. You don't know what is what. I mean, add copy, then it adds copy 2, and then copy 3, copy 3. It gets pretty messy. It's even worse if you try and let's add a layer style to here. So let's add a stroke on the inside, a black. So maybe this is simulating like a hover effect, and hit OK. And now Photoshop has given us notification that there are layer effects applied to this layer, and that it is an effect, and that it's a stroke. Having this expanded and we have all these copy 2, copy 3, it's really, really messy. And so the first tip is how to clean that all up. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these layers. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and delete these layers. And what you want to do is click right here, go down to Panel Options. And in the dialog box, you're going to want to look at the bottom here and uncheck Expand New Effects and uncheck Add Copy to copied layers and groups. And now let's go ahead and grab that rectangle tool, draw another rectangle for the container. Go ahead and rename this. Whoops. Cotainer. How about container? Alright. And now, holding the Alt Option key and dragging that over, now we see that it doesn't add copy. And that is looking very nice. And if I drag multiple rows down, now they all say container and they all look beautiful. So now if we go and, let's see, grab this container. If we add a layer effect to it, so we'll go ahead and add that same stroke and hit OK. Now it shows us that the effects are applied to this layer, but it doesn't automatically expand that the layer effect name. So it automatically collapses that. And that's just having those 2 settings unchecked really helps you in keeping organized layers. So let's talk a little bit about why it's important to keep your layers organized. If you don't, you might end up with something like this, where we have some folders, some unnamed layers, we have a rectangle here, another layer, some rounded rectangle 1, 1, 1, 1. It's just not very helpful. So for your own sanity, it makes sense to keep those organized, but also for other people's sanity. So whether you're handing this off to an internal, like maybe another designer, they can pretty much open up your Photoshop document and know exactly where in their document, or they'll know exactly where things are in your document. And whether you're handing that off to an internal designer or an outside agency or one of your clients or an internal developer, I mean, it just makes sense to keep things organized. And so I'll show you a little bit about how I go ahead and organize things. Now, this isn't my idea. I actually stole this from Charlie Waite. But this is how I organize my web projects. So for each main section of the site, I put it in a group folder. and I label it with all caps and then forward slashes on each side. So I'll toggle this on and off so you can see. So that's the hero section. We have a social proofing section right here. And then we have features. And I'll just twirl down into some of these menus, or into some of these layers here. We have features, and within that features folder we have a heading and subheading, some main features. Alright, I'll twirl down there. We have a main feature 1, which is this one, main feature 2, that's that one. And we can just keep going. I mean, the goal is to have pretty much everything in a folder so that it's easily scannable and it's labeled so you know what everything is on the page. So let's see, check out this video button, and in here I have a hover version, or yeah, the hover style, which is this button over here. I can toggle that off, and then I have the static version. So it makes sense for if you're passing this off to developers, for them to also be able to navigate your file efficiently. So that is tip number 2 on staying organized within your layers in Photoshop. If you like this project or have any questions, let us know on Twitter at MadeBySidecar or on Facebook at facebook.com/MadeBySidecar. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.